All right, I'm going to give my personal thoughts on this Trump's assassination attempt. Now, the reason it took me so many days to respond is because generally when anything like this happens, it's a flurry of insane stuff, and I've spent the last few days watching all these different videos on YouTube, news reports. There's footage from the actual convention or the actual rally and shooting, and then there's stuff that people took on their cell phones. So it's going to be a long time before they sort it out. There's a lot of rants and raves from the left. There's all kinds of conspiracies. Short of the aliens come down and shot at them, they're even starting to analyze this, like the Kennedy assassination. So, with all of this, it's difficult. With all these things swirling around, it's difficult to keep a train of thought, make a video. So, I'm just gonna, in this video, cover a few points, give you my opinion. Now, this is not scientifically proven. This is just the information I've been seeing and my opinion on this specific points. And then at the end of the video, I'll ask you guys, maybe we should have a live discussion. I'll do it in a way where I can have you come as a guest to talk for a little bit, maybe switch people in and out. But if that's something that you'd like, put it down in the comments section, because when I had my last live video, Sunday, and wanted to discuss it, there was very little comments from the people there. Okay. So, alright, I got these points here. Number one, was this staged to benefit Trump? Well, the fact, was it staged? I mean, a lot of people on the left swear to God that it's all fake, it's all staged. From what you could see in the actual news coverage video, where you hear the gunshots, you see him turn his head slightly, and you can see it hit him, he noticed it, and down he went. Okay? I believe it was an actual shooting. Okay, I don't believe it was staged or fake with firecrackers and he ducked down and cut his ear with a pocket knife or something. And, there's the fact that one person is dead and 2 people are hospitalized. So, to actually sit there and say that this was staged or fake, okay, is wrong. And I don't believe it. Okay, and it does create problems. All right, another accusation was foreign powers involved. They said the Iranians or somebody else, there was another shooter. And like I said, they're doing a Kennedy thing where they're analyzing the soundtrack of the one main video. And they said there's another gunshot that came from somewhere. I doubt it. That Special Forces guy said it was usually assassination attempts like this in the United States, it's a lone person. And apparently, as of now, it looked like he was acting alone. Why, the reason, or how the hell he ever thought he was getting out of there alive, I have no idea. But it does look like he was alone until more information comes up. But I doubt a foreign power was behind this. Now, going on, who was the shooter? Very strange, very curious, brings up a whole boatload of questions. 20-year-old guy, really nothing political about him. I seen where when he was in high school, the only weird thing is BlackRock Investments. Now, any of you guys in the conspiracy, globalization know who this entity is for investing, was doing a commercial to get teachers' retirement plans in. And in the commercial, they showed a teacher in the school, and in the classroom, this young man was in there. He doesn't say anything, but he makes two appearances, which again is kind of weird. That this controversial, money entity, BlackRock, he was in the commercials. It's just something there. Okay, so this kid didn't have any political things, nothing on Facebook, no manifestos, no videos, no nothing. Was a registered Republican supposedly, but yet donated $15 to the Democratic Party. Very odd. Okay, I guess he was a dietary aide in a retirement home, requested a day off to go to the convention, and very little else is known about him. Okay. Now, how did the shooter get past security? Well, this is strange, and my wife just commented following these news clips. I guess the way it worked is if you were in the area where the bleachers and this podium is one area that you had to go through the metal detector, all this other stuff. There was a second perimeter around the buildings, and then past that is where they were parking. From one of the witnesses, they park way down in another area and walk through the one thing where there's police presence, and then you go through the metal detector and all that other stuff. And apparently, they said that he did, because they opened this up hours before Trump gets there. So it's like 3 hours before or more when I went to the rally. It's like you could go in, park, and then wait in line, and we just waited in line about 2 to 3 hours just to get into the building for him to come in and start the rally. So these people were filtering in there for hours, and they said that he went through the metal detector and the inspection, and he had a rangefinder. Okay, so when they make you empty your pockets out, it's nothing unusual, right? It's not a weapon. Okay, they actually let me keep my little pocket knife to pull all the stuff out of your pockets, and I showed him the knife, and one of the inspectors come and looked at it, it was only that long. He goes, all right, he can keep it. I guess it was under 4 inches or something, so he just put it back in your pocket. So, that's my experience with going through the security there. Okay, you do go through a metal detector. So they took a picture of him because he seemed suspicious as somebody's with a rangefinder, and what he was doing is gauging distances, and then he left. Okay. Now the curious thing is, they said they photographed and nobody did nothing. He left the high secure area, went out, and sometime from when he left there and when they seen him climbing up the roof with a rifle. Now they said if he parked his car way out in the parking lot or where they were parking, retrieved the rifle, and they don't understand how he came in, made his measurements with the rangefinder, left. And then another joke, it's people's cell phones that seen him, I guess, going up a ladder and then crawling around on the roof. They were tender. You can hear him yelling, hey, there's somebody up there, there's somebody up there. I don't know. It's very unusual, very curious, and I would think that just them yelling, of course the people said the police looked confused, they were running around. There was an attempt for a law enforcement officer, did go up the ladder, and when he got to the top of the ladder and put both his hands on the roof, supposedly this individual turned around and pointed the rifle right at him, and he couldn't draw a gun. He had no recourse. He let go, and I don't know if he let go and went down or fell off the roof or what, but supposedly he ducked down. And then I guess the shooting started shortly afterwards. Okay. But there's a lot of questions of how he got on the roof with that rifle not being seen. They seen him go up the ladder, but the way the video was, or something, I don't know if they had him going up the ladder, or they had him crawling along the roof and moving, but it wasn't obvious if there was a gun in there. So that opened a question. Okay. Now, how difficult was the shot and could he make it? Had one of these security experts, ex-special forces, level 1 sniper. He said the AR-15 with the red dot scope, unmagnified, even at 100, and 50-yard distance, 148, 50 yards. He said to make a precise shot as a sniper. In other words, line it up, get your breathing down, take the shot. He goes, would be extremely difficult. Okay, for anyone. He goes, it wasn't the proper equipment. Okay, number one. And number two, I believe there was a report that this kid had very bad eyesight. Okay, that was in, it wasn't in the local news, it was in a Russian version of what they knew about him, and said that he had bad eyesight from birth. So they kind of threw that in there. That was from a foreign resource. And you don't hear that on the U.S. news. But, Cody had made the shot. And maybe that's why he was resting, laying, and just cut loose with several rapid shots at him. Because I think one missed, and then the one that would have hit him is when he turned his head. That's the one that got him or something. I'm not sure, okay? But he didn't seem the best marksman in the world, but whoever shot, if it was him, come very close, matter of fate. Then also, okay, next thing is they mention explosives. Now, they said that when they found his car, they found explosive devices in the car, okay, and also on his person on the roof was a device to detonate these things. They didn't go into detail, radio, cell phone detonation, I'm not quite sure. But none of it makes sense, because the young man asked for a day off to go to work. He's going to go on a roof with all these people, shoot at Donald Trump. How is he thinking of getting out of there alive? It's kind of like, you're not going to be walking out of there alive or not. Okay, so there was like no escape plan, no accomplices. If it's true about these explosive devices, my only guess would be to make the shot. Maybe he hid explosive device or planned to hide them. It would be make the shot, trip the explosive devices, then there would be mass panic. And if the snipers weren't doing their job or got distracted, you may have been able to get away. I don't know. It's kind of frightening in a way, and kind of don't know if it's true. Nobody showed pictures of the devices or whatever yet, as of yet. So, and then you got to ask yourself, okay, who would kind of benefit from this if the attempt went through? Well, of course, people have been trying to thwart Trump from being reelected, even when he was still the president, with the impeachment trials and everything else. There are forces, and another thing, we are at war. There's a global war going on about control of the whole world. Okay, and the one thing key to all of this is the United States and our economy, and the fact that we are the world reserve currency. Okay, that's why these things are important. They're under attack, and bankrupting this country, destroying the U.S., is a goal of certain forces. Okay? The one thing about Trump is when he was in office the last time, there were some pretty deep political changes, things that kind of go unnoticed, but there was a power. When he first got elected, there was a power shift politically. Okay? It was very low key, but there was. They had to get him out. He tried undoing what past administrations did. They went back and again tried doing it again. Okay, if he does get elected, and the plain simple truth is things are so bad in this country, it's kind of like nobody knows how he will not be reelected. Okay, unless somebody assassinates him. Okay, that's why. That's who would benefit. And the question is, did he benefit from this? Okay. Well, I'm not saying that he had anything to do with it, but this even galvanizes his attempt. The shock to the nation, I think, has switched the opinions of a lot of people. And the political unrest in this country is going to get even worse. And I believe, unfortunately, we are going to see more strange things happen. And in conclusion, I believe there will be more attempts on his life in the next coming months by somebody or someone, because this country is so divided. Some of the comments I've seen from both the left and the right, okay, this country is so divided. People are so fed up. People are frightened. The conditions with the economy and everything are so bad, okay, and politically, it's a joke. We have a country that's non-functional, or a government that's non-functional. Nobody can decide who they want to run, all right? And we're in some dark times here, okay? And what the outcome is anyone's guess. But I do have a very strong personal feeling that this is not going to be the only attempt on his life. Okay? I think it's just going to spur, all of this is just going to become much worse. Alright. Whether there is a conspiracy or a group of people out to get him, I have no proof or evidence or anything like that about that. But, you know, it's kind of hard to hide that if there was people, you know. So, and you know, you'll never really know the truth. You'll never really know the truth about this weird fellow that was involved in this incident, okay, because a lot of things make absolutely no sense. And when things don't make sense or can't be explained, somewhere along the line somebody's lying about something, okay? So, like I said, if you guys think we should have some discussions, and I'd set something up to where I can get a person, I send you a link as long as you got a camera and that. You can come in, chime in. I would like to hear from my subscribers, people that I know, and we can have a discussion or a panel and talk about this in detail. If that's something you're interested in, put it down in the comment section, okay? So hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned.